Hello, welcome back to Triple Threat Analysis. This is going to be our WrestleMania review show. We're going to go through all of our predictions, see how we did, and just give our overall thoughts about how the granddaddy of them all went this year. All right, let's start with just how are y'all feeling like overall? What was your overall thoughts about the show?
I mean, I definitely think like night one started out really slow. It was tough to like really get a gauge. We were starting to see, which I think we're going to complain about a lot as we go on throughout this, is the timing of the matches was just really short. A lot of the stars that were in the matches weren't getting their time to shine. And we did kind of see that trend continue into night two, but I think just the match quality was much better in night two. The everything about night two just seemed a lot better, and it really saved the overall appearance of WrestleMania to me, at least. I was locked in for night two much more than I was when I was watching night one, and it definitely was overall like a good show, I'd say.
What about you, Glenn?
I mean, every year I get excited for WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania. This year, the entire show didn't feel like a WrestleMania. Not a single match until we got to the end of night two. Nothing else to me felt like, even Oba, like I was excited, but it was on ESPN2. I watched it from ESPN2. That was on TV, and it just felt like, as big a match as that was, it felt like Raw to me. It didn't feel like WrestleMania. Nothing felt like WrestleMania to me until Roman Reigns and Punk decided to put on the show of a lifetime. But other than that, did not really enjoy. Well, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just like we could have had this on a regular show, and it would have felt exactly
Yeah.
the same. So we'll get into it when we talk about the match and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not. Whatever. I guess I'm Nancy negative again.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree. I've seen a lot of people been saying having the same sentiment that it just didn't feel like WrestleMania. My biggest and like my really only complaint is kind of what David said is that the matches, especially on night one, were just like so short. Like if they were going to be that short, why didn't we have more of the matches that we wanted? You know, why didn't we get Asuka and Io, and why didn't we get Tiffy and Julia for the U.S. Championship?
Yeah.
Like if they were going to be that short anyways, why not put more that we would want to see just to get more ad time so I can see
Yeah.
the preview for the Hulk Hogan documentary 17 more times? Like, I don't know.
I'm the biggest Hulk Hogan fan you'll ever meet, and even I was like, stop. We know they
Yeah.
didn't do this during SummerSlam when he actually did die. Why did they wait
Right.
all the way till now to another topic?
I mean, I don't know, when we were at SummerSlam, we heard Real American like, at least
No, we did, but
40,000
like there
times.
was
So,
one like video package of him, and that was
Yeah.
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. All right, y'all ready to get into the matches?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's talk about Drew and Jacob first. So our prediction, we all chose Jacob, so we were all correct about this one. How'd y'all feel about this match?
I mean, kind of what I talked about on the preview episode. Like, we didn't get any blood. It wasn't nearly as violent as it obviously should have been for an unsanctioned match. Like, if it was going to be what we ended up getting at WrestleMania, they should have just went in calling it a no DQ, a street fight, whatever else they wanted to call it. Like, it was not nearly violent enough for an unsanctioned match. And I think it being on ESPN2, it being in that first hour really held it back a little bit. The match itself was still good. I think it helps build what Jacob is now doing, which is going after Roman, which is a little confusing to me in the moment, but we'll talk about that later on. And then Drew, obviously, like we talked about, is probably going to be taking some time off here. So I do think it helps build the story, and I do think it was an okay match overall. But with the unsanctioned title on it, I think that definitely brings it down a couple notches as well.
It was a
What?
good match. It was a good match. A lot better than I thought it was going to be, believe it or not. I knew there wasn't going to be any blood, but again, it was a good match for what it was. There's honestly nothing to really else say about it except for the fact that we knew Jacob had to win because Drew's going away and they have to build Jacob. He could not lose another match. As we said, he's lost every big match he's actually been in. So he had to win this match. He did win the match. It's a good call. It was a good match, but it was still like middling. You know what I mean? Even though it was a good match, it was an unsanctioned match. And like David said, we didn't get nothing that would qualify it for that. If you're going to call it that, something has to happen in order for it to be worth calling it that, and it didn't. It was just a regular
Yeah.
good match that we could have saw on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't have much to add other than that. Like y'all said everything. I don't think it was a good match strictly because of the stipulation, right? Like
Yeah.
if it was just a normal one-on-one match, then it would have been fine. Like nothing crazy happened where it constituted being an unsanctioned match, like y'all said. So I don't really have much to add. Obviously, Jacob was the right winner, and we all were correct. It'll be interesting to see, how they go forward with him and Roman. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the Vision and ISO Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight. You both picked the Vision. I picked Usos and Knight. Obviously, I'm the only one that got it correct. I thought this was a good match, especially for like going into it what we thought it would be. I think it exceeded our low expectations. It was good spots, good. I thought it was entertaining overall. You know. What about you, David?
I mean, I was definitely still entertained by this match, but at the same time, this is another one of those short matches. It was 7 minutes where we had six guys in the ring, all trying to get their spots in, show off, what they can do in the ring. And I think the best moment of all of it obviously came after the match when we got the, kind of turn from Speed and him doing the splash on the Logan Paul and everything like that. That was actually the most entertaining part of the whole match
Yeah.
to me. The match itself was still good. I do agree that like they still, with the timing that they had, got enough spots in to like make it entertaining. But that's definitely one of the matches where I'm like, okay, even if they could have gone 10 minutes instead, I think we could have gotten at least something more, just to make it feel more like a WrestleMania match. Because again, like Glenn was saying, I do agree. I didn't mention in my initial part, but I do agree. Like it didn't really feel like WrestleMania, and this just felt like another. Okay, this could have been a Backlash match. This could have been
Yeah.
a Raw match even. Like it didn't just have the necessities that it needed to be so early on in the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, I don't remember the match. That tells you all you need to know. I remember the ending with Speed. By the way, I will say, perfect jump, perfect spot. He did everything
Yeah,
perfect in that moment. Like that was a veteran type. Matter of fact, even the veterans ain't making that perfect of a jump. He landed directly on him, directly at the middle of the table, directly on top of. It was perfect, man. Great spot by Speed. But other than that, man, it's just non-memorable. I'm not gonna talk about that match in 10 years. No one's gonna remember that. Nothing happened. The Speed thing,
Yeah.
yes, not that. So, like if I was rating it, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10, and I'm giving the Speed spot a 9 out of 10. But only that spot. It just wasn't
yeah.
memorable. The Usos are a lot better than that. And yeah, I wasn't really a fan of the match.
Yeah. I mean, like the what seems to be, the limits for the match times that they had, like really like it doesn't help you build, a good match. Especially for something like this where it's a six-man tag team match, like you're just not able to build a good match in that short amount of time. And I don't know why they would self-impose a limit like that on themselves. I mean, the whole of night one, I think only took what, like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, maybe.
Yeah. It was
Where
I remember the numbers for night one. It was an hour and 27 minutes of wrestling time and an
yeah,
hour and 24 minutes of ad time.
The
it's
thing about
crazy
WrestleMania,
work.
before we move on, when
Yeah.
we used to watch WrestleMania like years ago, I was sitting there like, man, okay, this match it's just a break. I can go get a drink. I can go get something to eat. Because, like, it just felt like forever. All the matches were but in a
Mhm.
good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It felt like it's like we love baseball, right? They put a pitch clock now. Games are 2.5 hours. I like the 4-hour games. I don't care. I'll watch the damn 4-hour game. I want that. We got a pitch clock at WrestleMania now. I don't like it. I don't want a timed thing.
Yeah.
I know you have to have times for certain reasons, but this was just too short, and we don't
Yeah.
have the lore of WrestleMania anymore. The entrances, we need the entrances to be 10 minutes long because like, everyone has to come in and do something special. That's the good
Yeah.
part about WrestleMania. They do crazy shit. Now they did, but some people, but then we got a match that's 5 minutes long. Like, just disappointing, man. It's taking away the aura and lore of WrestleMania. Just not a fan,
Yeah.
but we can move on.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the match wasn't anything special. It didn't set anything up,
Yeah.
past WrestleMania. But so it just is what it is. But I thought it was entertaining for what they had to do. Next, we're gonna move on to the IC ladder match. David and I both picked Penta. Glenn picked Ray. So obviously, David and I were successful in this one. Let's just start with you, David. What did you think about the match?
I mean, he did a lot of people were saying, I even said it, on the preview episode, like this had the build up to be possibly one of the best ladder matches, especially multi-man like this that we've seen. I'm not exactly sure that it lived up to that hype. It was still a really good match. We saw a lot of really good spots. JD McDonough just continues to get his ass beat week after week
Dude,
after week after pay-per-view after year. Like that guy just never ends.
dude,
But
that Mexican destroyer off the ladder onto the other ladder was crazy.
it was. I mean, and the OG cutter that Javon
Yeah.
did to Rusev coming off the limb. But I do want to say with that spot, like, what a cool OG cutter. But I mentioned in our chat, like, at that, like, why would Rusev ever even jump off the ladder in that moment? Like, Javon wasn't
Yeah,
even
I
gonna
mean,
get near him. He could have just watched him fall and been like, "You idiot!" I'm like, "What are you doing?" But it
Oh,
still
dude,
looked
I
really
would
cool.
when I was watching that live, I was pissed. because I felt
Right.
like that had such an opportunity to be such a great spot, and then Rusev just jumped towards him. I'm like, dude, we saw it. Like it's
Yeah.
I was so
Like you
mad.
had
I was so mad.
yeah. And that's how I felt too. Like especially in the moment, I'm like, man, it like it looked cool, but you can. And then they kept showing the replay, and Rusev just like it
Yeah.
was just.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
it was
I don't
still
think Rusev
still a
was the
cool
best
match.
one
to take that.
to take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Javon didn't get over, I mean, it's kind of on Javon. He has to get more of a jump. But again, he's so young. He's gonna learn.
Yeah.
But oh, were you finished,
No,
No,
David?
go
you're
ahead.
good. You're good.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. Unfortunately, my phone was blowing up for non-WrestleMania reasons. I kept every time I looked down, something crazy happened. So I had to watch the damn replay. Like it was a good match. It was a very good match. Best ever? No, hell no. But very
Yeah.
good. I was very happy with it in terms of like we got some good stuff. We got some great spots. Rusev took a beat. Like Rusev was on the end of almost all the big, like the
Yeah.
ends and stuff like that. So like that was a good. Penta winning is the right decision. I chose Ray because I figured they wanted to build something with Dom, or maybe have Dom and Ray both be heels in a tag team or something. I just kind of was trying to think what could possibly come from this. But Penta winning is the right decision because he can be there every week. He's gonna fight every week. He was there even when he didn't have the belt. He was the Iron Man of the year and stuff like that. So Penta winning is a great choice. I'm not mad at it. Good match. This was a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like a WrestleMania match. At least this one, at least anyway.
Yeah. I agree. Don't really have much to add. It was a great match. I was highly entertained the whole time. The one thing I just wanted to point, Ray brought back the who's that
Yeah.
jumping out the sky? Like
And the superhero themed gear. Like
yeah,
he
yeah.
was definitely pushing the limit there a little bit.
And he was moving great in the match. He
And
must
he
have just
took
got
some
some
big spots
injections.
too. Like he was getting his ass
Yeah,
whooped too a little bit.
yeah. So
Can we just talk
shout
real
out
quick? Can we just
Ray.
talk about Ray in general? When he first came back at the Royal Rumble, like I think it was in 2018, 19 or whatever, and because he took up a spot that I thought was going to go to someone huge, and I was like, oh my god, it's Rey Mysterio. 6 years later, however long it's been, and knowing that he's coming towards the end, man, I wish I would have like appreciated Ray a little bit more because what he's done in this business and all assets
Yeah.
of the business, I wish I was a bigger fan, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't put Ray in my
Mhm.
top 10. I don't like go buy the mask. I don't have nothing Ray Mysterio related. Like, he's not one of my guys. Now that he's coming to an end and you go back and look at his career and see what he's done and think about all the time, I mean, beating Big Show, not midget. They're like, the short man versus the big. He's done everything and everything in this business. And like, just props to him, man. Like when he retires, we will miss him. We will miss Rey Mysterio, and
Yeah.
he's not a midget.
We'll be mentioning midgets later.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about the IC ladder match? All right. Next, we're gonna move on to Brock and Ova. We'll have you start.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
he's
was
not
gonna say the same
retiring,
thing.
bro. Not yet. We listen.
Yeah,
Don't get worked again, everybody. And now reports are coming out. TKO is suing. That would not be information 2 days after it happened, guys. This is a work. They know that Gunther versus Lesnar is not sexy. They know that, so they have to build this thing. They have no choice but to build this up where Lesnar just, I don't know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. I'm not a writer, but I just know that he is not retiring. Not like that. Now, I will say that is a Lesnar thing to do because he didn't want to lose to Gunther at SummerSlam or something like that. Would it shock me 100%? No. But I've watched, like I told Nick and David, man, I've seen Vince McMahon kill himself on live TV before Chris Benoit and Eddie I saw all of that happen that we were meant to believe. This is just, to me, another work. But hey, listen, if he's retiring, sucks. Like, I don't want him to retire like that. Brock Lesnar is a guy I put in my top and like one of my favorite all-time fighters, period. So if he retires like that, that would suck. If we don't ever see him again, that would suck. So maybe that's kind of why I'm also thinking it's a work because I don't want it to be true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like it's too like, I don't know. It just seems patched up. It just seems like a Seth Rollins getting hurt thing. It just doesn't seem like this is the end for Brock Lesnar. And all this information out that TKO is suing him because he retired too early. What? How could that even be a thing? It's not real. I'm telling you that it's not real. But
I didn't see that.
the match
I didn't
itself,
see that either.
great ending. Oba had to go over. We didn't get a long match, but that's not supposed to be a long match. This is the one where it's okay that it wasn't long because this is how it had to happen. And as soon as it
Yeah.
happened, I said to my fiance, I said, listen, it has to end here because if
Yeah.
Lesnar kicks out of this, it's going to look like week and stuff like this had to happen exactly when I said it had to happen. Was happy with the result. Crowd went crazy for Oba. Oba looked like a damn superstar, which is exactly what you want. Great job by Lesnar and Oba. Great match, but Lesnar is not retiring. Not yet.
Yeah, I will say, all these reports coming out after the match about how like it was supposed to be a longer match and Brock was supposed to kick out of that fall from grace and decided right then not to, and I mean that seems like a very Brock thing to do.
It does.
So and then I just don't see a world where he's not actually retired, especially with his interaction with Paul after that. Like it just seemed too real.
There's
like
two big
Brock is
things
not
to
that
me.
good.
There's two big things to me. It was Brock Lesnar crying in the middle of the ring when he knows he's being watched by millions of people. Like, I don't think that man would cry if Paul Heyman died in front of him. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
he's retiring from wrestling. He's retiring from in-ring competition, basically. And like, you could see like the tears coming. And then a lot of people have mentioned it, and I even mentioned it when he first did it. He threw up that X, and usually it means like an injury or something like that. But I've been reading a lot now, even from wrestlers that have talked about it online, that have said it just means like that something's real, and if it wasn't planned, I mean, I pointed it out too when we were watching Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. Even Wade was like trying to get Michael Cole's attention. He's like, look what's going on in the ring. Like, they really genuinely seem shocked, and I know that's their job, and I know they've been doing it a long time. So there is maybe a 2% part of me that wants to agree with Glenn and say, yeah, Brock is going to come back at least one more time to officially get retired. But if he's not, this was the perfect way to do it. Like, this introduces the next beast that hopefully is going to be around for the next 20 years and can be the next Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, for sure. Man, yeah, let's just talk about Oba for a second. I mean, like, he is like the man now.
He's
right?
so
like,
over.
He's so over, and like they need to strap the rocket to him. Like, honestly, like, if I know it's like it would have been like way too soon, but if on Monday night, if he had been the one to come out and interrupt Roman, like, that would have been great. I would have been fine.
He
and
did
like
call him out on the post show. He said by the
he
end of the
did.
year. By the end of the year.
I
Which
think we'll
means we're still a
probably
long
see
ways
that
away
at
from the end of
SummerSlam.
the year, but yeah,
I got
SummerSlam would be
two
good.
things. I got two things. Okay, number one about Lesnar, one about Oba. Number one, the tears thing, right, with Brock Lesnar. Mark Henry, who never cried in his life, came out in a pink salmon suit, okay, with John Cena in the ring, saying, "Oh, I love my family, I'm going home." And the tears were real. The tears were real. And 2 seconds later, he fucking dropped John Cena and had 10,000 more matches. I'm telling you, Lesnar's not retired. Okay, that's one. Number two, about Oba. About him, like, I said the same thing. Like, why the hell is Jacob Fatu challenging Roman and not Oba? Well, the thing is, and this is complete proof, Roman has to have that belt for a while.
Yeah.
And if Oba fights Roman and loses, that defeats everything Oba's fought for. He cannot lose. There's no losing with Oba. If they're going to make him the next Brock Lesnar, if they're going to make him the next monster, that man can't lose until 2 years from now, WrestleMania. Maybe he gets the new Undertaker streak. I don't know. But if you're trying to build him up to be that, which who else is it going to be? I mean, they kind of don't have a choice. He cannot lose. So that's why he's not fighting Roman. Fatu can lose to Roman. It's fine. It's whatever. They're family. They don't care. But yeah, that's the only thing stopping Oba from. If CM Punk was the champion, Oba's fighting CM Punk and taking that belt. 100%.
Yeah.
But because it's Roman and they have to protect him and they have to push him for, months, maybe a year, he can't fight him. But again, he deserves it. 100%, like you said. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And the last thing I just want to touch on is like the segment with him on Raw to start the show was perfect. Like, that's literally all he needed to do.
Yeah.
A throwback to Roman after he beat Undertaker, 9 minutes of getting booed, and then he said, "This is my yard now." He did the same thing,
And
but he was
walked
getting
out.
cheered. It was the opposite, but the same. So it's great.
Yeah. They need to strap the rocket to Oba. Anything else to say about Brock or Oba? All right, next we're gonna move on to Becky and AJ. We all picked Becky, so we were all right. This wasn't a very memorable match to me. What about y'all?
It was exactly what it needed to be. It got the belt back on the full-time wrestler, the more entertaining wrestler, in my opinion, both on the mic, both in the ring. There's really not much to say about this match besides WWE picked the right winner. And we'll talk about it a little later on, but, AJ Lee talked a little bit about, seems like she's going to be gone for a little while here again, and everybody's already been talking about it, but I think we all know exactly what she's going to end up coming back for.
She botched like 3 times during that match, by the way. It was not a good match. She botched nonstop. I was hoping that she put on a really good match. And you know what? She recovered from the botches. It wasn't the most disgusting match I've seen, but it just wasn't good. And it's definitely like whenever she does come back, if she does come back, hopefully she's just wrestling a little bit. Like hopefully she's just like, okay, that was not good enough, like. And I could even
Yeah.
see it in Becky's face. She seemed very frustrated, like half the match. She was just like, I saw her roll her eyes a couple of times, and it's like maybe no one was really looking at it. I'm telling you, if you go back and watch it, watch her eyes. She kind of rolled her eyes a couple of times when AJ was like supposed to take a couple of moves from Becky, and she just flat out falls down. And it's like, bro, just yeah, not the best of matches. I'm glad Becky won. I don't think they had a choice. Even if AJ was supposed to win that match, they were not going to let her win that match after what AJ was doing there. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad Becky won. Like I said, the full time person. Let her go on and break whatever record she wants to, and we'll move on happily.
I think the best part of this match actually was the interaction with Jessica Carr.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really seems to me that they're kind of building towards a Becky Jessica Carr match or something along those
I
lines.
mean, she's probably been in the ring more than AJ has in the last like 3
Yeah,
years.
definitely.
She's both reffing and wrestling under WWE contract. She's been putting she's been putting in a ton of work. Like kind of like Maxine Dupree. I mean, I'm not saying give her the title, but she could easily be the one to slide in and like be the next one to work with Becky and really get that
Mhm.
experience with a veteran like Becky Lynch.
I knew it was
Yeah.
gonna be a botch fest when she brought the little girls that didn't know how to skip down the right. Props to them
I
little
was
girls.
gonna.
I'm happy them little girls got their moment, man. Like this is not has nothing to do with them. But my God, they didn't show them how to skip. They didn't know if they should come to the ring or stay back. That what? It was just a botch from the very beginning, bro.
The one little girl that like came out last and then just ran back into
Yeah,
back
and then
into
the
the.
one, like as AJ was walking down the ramp, one girl went right after her, and all of them stood
And
back.
then
I was like, "Is
nobody
she
else
going to the
followed.
ring?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know, like AJ could have given them like skipping lessons before. Like, come on. All right. Anything else to say?
Mm-mm.
No.
Cool. All right. Next up, we had the women's tag match. Me and Glenn both picked Bailey and Lyra. David picked the Bellas. So really, none of us won.
Oh,
But
counts.
so obviously, Nikki comes out, says that she's not clear, but she found somebody to take her place, and Paige returns to a big pop.
Yeah.
To a very
Pop of the
big pop.
weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously Brie and Paige end up winning the titles. I thought this match was kind of disappointing. I thought it was going to be set up to be a really good match. It was obviously another one of those matches that was like too short, didn't have enough time, but even so I thought it was disappointing. But what about y'all?
I mean, kind of the same. Like, they're really, especially for all the women in this match and all the big name women in this match, like, there weren't even as many spots as you'd expect. There wasn't a lot of like, oh wow, like that was really cool. It was just kind of a very straightforward. I'm also not you like when there's multi-team tag matches, I'm always still used to only having two legal competitors at a time, and like they can tag other teams and whatnot. Basically, being a fatal four-way with four people on the apron, like it was just really confusing to me for a while. I'm just not used to that style of WWE running their multi-tag matches.
I do think they said it was going to be I do think they said it was going to be a fatal four-way
Yeah, so maybe I just missed
beforehand.
that heading in. Like I know they were talking about it right before it started, and I was like, oh wait a minute, this is how they're. But either way, I mean, like you said, the match was just kind of okay. I predicted, so I do like the outcome of it. And I do like, I think where it's gonna have us heading at least into the summertime, hopefully into like SummerSlam.
Yeah, the inevitable Brie or Bella's turn on Paige is
And
coming.
and that's
But,
right where AJ comes back. And then I'll
yeah,
just continue with that thought because we were already talking about it in the last segment. So that's where I think AJ ends up coming back. I think that a lot of people have talked about already. The Bellas end up turning on Paige. Paige needs to find a partner. AJ comes back to be her partner. And then
yeah.
back to what we were talking about earlier as well. Then I mean, yes, she still does need to be in the ring and she still does need to be putting in work. But if she's back in the ring with Paige and the Bellas, like at least she has it. Hopefully, she still has that chemistry with them from all those years ago, to where they've all been kind of out of the ring and doing their own thing for a while, to where they can just kind of step back in the ring and be like, okay, at least this is familiar territory.
But you, Glenn, what'd you think?
Again, WrestleMania, when you think of WrestleManias, every match is supposed to be memorable. When we think back 10 years, we want to, like, again, even like the Lesnar Goldberg match where everyone booed the hell out of it, said it was the worst match of all time. We still remember it to this day. There's no, this match especially, we're not going to talk about this shit. We're going to talk about Paige. Yes, that was a great
Yeah,
moment. I love Paige, and I've been humming her damn song for freaking 3 days now. I can't stop humming the damn song. But in terms of everything else, boring. And by the way,
yeah.
I love Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was one of my like first,
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I just kind of always liked Alexa Bliss. She can't fight. The way she hits is so weak. And I've noticed it like watching. I'm like, damn, she's not that great of a wrestler. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just like everything she does is weak. There's nothing she does that sells. Like even you can't sell her moves either because they're not hard or whatever. But like when she goes off the top rope and does her flips and stuff, they're great. But when she's actually just standing in the ring, it's not very convincing. So I
Yeah.
think Alexa Bliss needs to like if she wants to be believable and ever get a belt again, because she could. Everyone loves her. Just there's got to be some more belief in her and her wrestling. But yeah,
Yeah.
the match wasn't memorable. Wasn't really a fan of the match. I'm glad Paige has a belt now and Brie has a belt. Them two can go. We know those two can go. So there's going to be some good matches coming up. And then the eventual
Yeah.
turn, like you guys said, is probably going to happen. And then when we get Paige and AJ, if they get the belts, that'll be
Mhm.
fantastic. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
For
got we
sure.
got good stuff coming. Just the match was not memorable, and I didn't care for it.
Yeah. I have 3 quick things I want to say about this. One, Alexa probably had the best gear of the
Yeah.
whole
100%.
weekend.
100%.
That was, it was amazing. 2, Paige looked great in the ring. She
Yeah.
looked great. And 3, I don't know if y'all saw the video of Bailey and Lyra coming up the ramp, but Bailey was pissed. Like she
Yeah.
Was that
looked
Bailey yelling at you right
mad.
now?
Yeah, but she looked pissed. And so part of me thinks that like her and Lyra were originally supposed
It
to
feels
win.
like another one of those moments that was stolen from her.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if like I said, I think it feels like they were originally supposed to win, and then whenever they ended up signing Paige at the last minute, they changed it over to them.
Yeah.
So they keep screwing Bailey over, man. Like she deserves something. Like she has been putting in the work, and she's been putting over everybody. She deserves
Before we move
something,
on, can I
man.
ask you something? Because you said that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what she wants you thinking? Dolph Ziggler lost every damn big match ever, and he coined the term "you got Zigglered." Maybe Bailey is like saying, "Hey, somebody like just like Chelsea Green kind of does." Maybe Bailey's like, "Hey, someone has to lose these matches. I'm happy putting everyone over. Let everyone." It doesn't matter if she wins or loses. That if she loses, everyone's like she should have won. She's getting robbed. She's getting this and that. It's the same result. So to me, I'm thinking Bailey is kind of being like taking one for the team and it's like, hey, if everyone's gonna sit there and say that I should have won, I'm winning anyway, and I'm getting to put over my friends. So I agree with you that she is getting robbed, but that's kind of maybe what they want you to feel. Just like Ziggler, just like guys in the past said, hey, as long as I get my paycheck, as long as everyone thinks that I should have won, as long as I got fans in my corner, I'm happy. So I'm kind of thinking that's Bailey because Bailey already took all the titles back in the day. She was champion all the time. So maybe she's like, it's time to put everyone else over. My friend Lyra, her and Lyra are best friends, like in real life. So I feel like eventually something's gonna happen where she's gonna put Lyra over. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just asking you,
I
do
don't
you
know.
think that maybe
Ba-
this is her? Maybe she's okay with all this.
I know.
Bailey
I
is who Sami Zayn wishes he was.
That's a good. I feel like Bailey's been pretty open about how disappointed she's been recently. Like I've seen her do a couple interviews where she said that she's not like, she's going to do whatever they ask him to do just cuz that's who she is. But especially last year, I think it was in Unreal maybe, but she was like really disappointed that her spot got taken away from her last year at
Mhm.
WrestleMania.
Well, not being on the
So
card for
like
sure was terrible. For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But so like I mean I think it's kind of a mix of both. Like I think like she definitely wants to put over people and is fine with losing sometimes, but I think it's going to get to a point where like she deserves something, especially as we get into the later stages of her career. Like she deserves at least another run.
I agree. Wasn't she crazy though? What happened to that crazy shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they kind of just abandoned
But
that,
like they'll
you
randomly
know.
bring it out too in like
Yeah.
backstage segments. Lyra will be like, "Oh, let me piss her off and like get her crazy," and then it'll be gone.
Yeah. Yeah,
Festus.
so she's just always there, but yeah, I mean, like I think there is some real frustration there with Bailey, and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's valid. All right. Anything else to say? Next up we have Seth and Gunther. We all picked Gunther winning because of a DQ, which isn't really what happened, but I count it as a win in our book for all of us because Gunther did win and Braun interfered. This match was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was probably the match of the night for night one. It was great. They had insane chemistry in the ring. They told a great story in the ring, especially for not having an actual build up for the match. I just thought it was great, and I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Seth and Gunther fight a few more times. But what about y'all?
No, I mean I agree with pretty much everything you said. Like they didn't really have much of a story, but they were able to tell a story within the ring during their WrestleMania match. They didn't really need a strong, long build up to it. But I mean, we kind of said that's what these guys were in the ring for. That's why they did such a quick, just like, hey, we got to get these two guys on the card, and if we can find a way to put them together, they're gonna tear the house down. Whether we give them 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, it wouldn't have mattered. Seth Rollins versus Gunther they're professionals of all professionals. Like they're gonna be able to put on a great match with each other, and they were able to do just that. There were obviously a couple things post match, like a lot of people, Braun missed the spear. That was all of our kind of reaction at first, but also like if Braun hits Seth at full speed, he's tearing him in half after running down that whole ramp. So I kind of get it now. But obviously, again, it's kind of one of those in the moment things like we talked about with Javon and Rusev earlier, where it was just like, oh man, like in the moment, it looks kind of, I don't know. But then you think about it a little and you're like, okay, maybe we want Seth healthy. He just came back. So I do think it was a good match. It was entertaining. It told a good story, and I bet we do see these two guys go at it again sometime in the near future, and probably for a world title.
For sure.
Just 3 quick things to say about it. Number 1, welcome back, the big dog, man. God, man, I forgot how much I miss Braun Breaker. That dude's a monster. He did kind of mess up the spear, though. I thought it was by design, because if he actually hit him, bro, he would have killed him. So I'm thinking it was by design that he just went a little bit to the right. But regardless, I'm happy he's back. What a beast. Number 2, stop sleeping on Gunther, man. Gunther's a GOAT. Gunther is the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. That's not even up for debate. It's really, believe it or not, it's not up for debate for me anyway. The man wrestled every single night, put on banger after banger. The only match that was bad that he was in was a CM Punk match, and that's because CM Punk was in it. But anyway, love me some Gunther. And Seth
Listen,
Rollins.
bitch.
Seth Rollins and Gunther are 2 of the best in-ring performers of all time. So, of course, the match was going to be good. And I say this even though I said the match was going to be boring, by the way. But again, it was a great match, man. And the way, bro, Seth Rollins gave Gunther a taste of his own medicine, he slapped the shit out of him. Right down you saw, and you saw like the pictures where like his whole titty was out blue.
Yeah.
Man, that was just great match. I love Gunther. Like I said, that's the reason I was the only MF cheering Gunther at SummerSlam. I love Gunther, man. And Seth Rollins too. Seth Rollins is one of my favorites. So great match. Happy Braun's back. Everything was great about that match. Just loved it. That was one of my favorite matches of both nights.
Yeah. Seth's contacts during his entrance were freaking me out, bro. I did not like that at all.
I was hoping he
could've
didn't get his
skipped out
eyes
on those.
tattooed.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not enjoying that at all. And the video of Braun running down the ramp is hilarious. Like he looks funny when he runs, and especially running down the ramp. It was just funny to look at. But yeah,
Did you
so
see when he started
obviously,
on the side? He actually started on the side.
yeah.
Like he was hiding on the side, and he didn't even. I thought he ran straight from like the entrance or whatever. He was on the side, so they gave him a little bit of breath. And then once it looked like he was like hobbling, but he was still going at full speed. He was still zooming. It was just crazy. That man's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Very, very happy to have Braun back, and very excited to get Seth and Braun sometime in the near future.
a whole year.
Yeah. Long-term storytelling, David. But
Hashtag.
yeah. Yeah, very, very good match overall. Ended the correct way that it should have.
Yeah.
Anything else to say? Cool. All right, next we're going to move on to Demon Finn and Dom. And this match got changed to a street fight at the last second, or like in the pre-show. We all chose Finn. We were all correct. Well, I'll let y'all talk about the match, but man, that demon entrance hit like crack. Like it was great.
But imagine how much harder it would have hit as a surprise. Like we talked about it all in the preview show. We still hear people talk about it now. Like, you're right. If it was dark out for the match, but I will say this too about the match, and it's really kind of the only comment I have to say about the match. Like, it was a really good match. I was very much entertained. But man, thank goodness it was changed to a street fight last second, because I like the use of the weapons, the use of all the extra stuff in the match and everything like that. Like, it just made it so much better. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Finn and Dom could put on a great wrestling match no matter what. But also just for what it needed for WrestleMania and just everything that was around it, I think making it a street fight definitely helped immensely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the street fight was definitely warranted, with all the stuff that led up to, like, it's not like, it's not like they just decided to fight at WrestleMania. Like, it's been building and building and building. So it definitely needed some sort of stipulation. I'm very glad that they added the street fight beforehand. What'd you think, Glenn?
We'll get it quick. Both entrances were great. Dom's entrance, don't forget, was very, very good, very, very unique. The match was good. I feel like I actually feel the opposite way, believe it or not. I think these two are two of the best wrestlers in the industry, and I would have loved to see a real wrestling match between the two. And I thought that's what we needed to have. But I'm okay with the street fight. The weapons, Vin was messing Dom up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it was a good match. I thought like these two deserved. This could have been like a 5-star Meltzer nerd match that we all desired, but I'll take the 3.75 4 out of 5-star match. It was good. The entrances were great. I'm happy with the match, and I'm glad that Dom put over Finn after all the times Finn put over Dom.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we have Sami and Trick for the U.S. title. We all picked Trick. We were all correct. Yeah, I mean, like, I hate Sami Zayn, man. Like, what'd y'all think of the actual match, though?
I mean, I think it was a good match. I think it still like told a good enough story. Like they were still given, there were a couple times where we were like, oh, they are gonna just let Sammy win, whatever. But it was time to put Trick over. It's time to let him do his thing. It was the right winner. It was good, not great, not terrible, but a decent match.
Yeah.
Basically what David said, it was a okay match. There were times that I thought Sami Zayn was going to win, though. So very good storytelling, honestly, in that aspect, because it seems like Trick winning was a foregone conclusion, but there was times I was like, "There's no damn way they're actually gonna let Sami win this match," and he didn't. So thank God for that. But Nick, this hate you have for Sami. He kind of built it. Like he wants you to. He don't. He kind of what he did. What you feel is because of him. So that's like you got to give a credit to him for making you hate his guts. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Like, so yeah,
Nah.
I give props to him for making a lot of people that loved him hate him. Not you, but a lot of other people were like, you know what? I used to be a fan of Sami, but now I don't like him by design. Great job by Sami doing that. I'm not even gonna lie about it. But I'm so happy Trick won. You had to push Oba, you had to push Trick because a lot of the old guys that we all loved, Mysterio, Lesnar, Cena's gone, and AJ Styles, they're pushing out all these older guys are leaving. You gotta bring the next generation in. Trick Williams and Oba are gonna be an absolute monster part of that. So we're gonna have to start getting used to them. They had to win at WrestleMania. Evans is still very young. We'll get him eventually, so don't worry about that. But yeah, just a good match. Sami almost won. Nick would have went crazy. Glad Trick
I
won.
would have lost my mind.
He would have went nuts. I even said I changed during the middle of the match. I wanted Sami to win because I wanted to see the crowd reaction. I wanted that build up for months of just you hating Sami, but not at Trick Williams' expense. Like I said, if it was anyone else, I would have rooted for Sami though.
It might have been the end of the podcast if Sami had won, man. Like you both said, it was a decent match. I didn't hate the match. Trick deserved to win and did win. And his long ass cape thing or whatever he had,
Yeah.
was it was hilarious.
Did you see what he said in the interview after? He said that it felt like it was 250 pounds, that he won't do that
I
again.
bet.
That he
Yeah.
was so tired when he got to the ring because he didn't expect it to feel that heavy, but like what'd you expect? That thing is ginormous and it was mink, so it was heavy.
Yeah. It just kept coming, man. Anything else about Sami and Trick?
Well,
No.
Trick.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Next up, we have Jade and Rhea. You both picked Jade. I picked Rhea. I am victorious.
This match.
I thought it was all right, but only because of Rhea. Like Rhea carried this match. Like it was a terrible match, and then Rhea brought it up to like decent.
Yeah, like a lot of
And I
people are
mean-
saying this was one of Jade's best showings of her career, but I think it was just because she was working with Rhea. Like Rhea sold all of her moves really well. Rhea was able to like do moves to Jade that most people can't do. Like I definitely do give Jade some credit. Like she has improved, but she's not world title material. She's not WWE championship material. Like she needs to put in some more work. She's got plenty of time before Bianca comes back. And honestly, like if we don't see her till then, I'm not going to be the most upset person in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Bet you, Glenn, what'd you think?
First of all, I've said this multiple times. I know we heard that Rhea has an eating disability, but I could not stop thinking, man, she's so skinny. Her leg, no,
Yeah.
like I'm like, she's a grown woman. I don't like worry my life with other people's lives and stuff like that. But man, like I was genuinely worried. She's so skinny. Her legs look
Yeah, I
like
know.
bones. And I'm like, what is going on? Like something seriously going on. If it is an eating disorder, she got to straighten that out quick or she's going to be very sick. Like she's very tiny. And it's not, we've seen Rhea just be thick, like in a good way for very long.
Yeah.
Seeing her come out like that with just skin and bones almost, it was, wow, I'm worried. And she's fighting Jade. So it's even worse because you see her next to
Yeah.
a diabolical monster beast like Jade, and she's like, damn, she's so little. Pretty worrisome. And believe it or not, that affected me watching the match because all I could notice is like, and she, by the way, she dropped Jade on one of her finish. She couldn't hold Jade up. I know y'all saw that. She botched one of the finish. It was not the cleanest of matches. Jade has improved in the ring, but it's impossible not to when we've only seen her like twice in the ring. So as long as you see a couple of moves from her, she's better.
Yeah.
I don't think she should have lost. It's not like I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be mad about it. I just think Jade should have won that match. But it was an okay match for what it was. Definitely like a regular show match, not a WrestleMania match at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just hope whatever is going on with Rhea, she starts eating some cheeseburgers or something because she just doesn't look like Rhea Ripley. We need mommy. She's more like not mommy. I don't know what to say. She's not herself right now.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully Rhea's able to work through whatever she's going through and
Mhm.
get back to where she was. But, Rhea officially, on Monday, she officially, obviously, as we all knew she would, moving to SmackDown. And it opens up the women's division on SmackDown like so much
Got to get Tiffy
more
back
than
in
it
there
has been. Yeah,
It
and
I
I'm
mean,
sure we will.
it really doesn't though, because like we're still stuck in the same conundrum that we've been in with SmackDown for so long because Tiffy had to fight Nia for months, and then Tiffy had to fight Jade for months, and now we haven't
Hmm.
seen Jade fight anybody because there has been
That's
nobody,
true.
and now all we're doing is adding Rhea to the mix. So is she gonna just fight Jade for months? Is she gonna fight Tiffy for months? Tiffy's in the middle of something with Julia. Like
I
just
think the
adding Rhea
women's
to the
belt
mix isn't enough.
I think the women's belt doesn't have to be that long though. I think you can just have short little just so everyone gets a taste, which is what we want. Like
Yeah,
I'm all for the storytelling and stuff like that, but when it comes to the women's belt, it's like I can have somebody new be champion every month to keep it fresh, to keep it good. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of agree with Nick. I think that makes it better instead of like we don't have to build Jade and Rhea for that long. Maybe they fight one more time, Jade loses again or something like that, and then she like preps up for Bianca when Bianca comes back. I mean, I'm not sure. But I know like you can get a bunch of other people in the mix and make them look a lot better fighting versus Rhea than you would against Jade. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
No,
I
and,
think I
and I'm
think it
not saying
helps.
that that's what I want to see, but that's what we've been seeing out of the SmackDown
Usually
Women's
get
division now for the last 2 years. You know what I mean? It was Nia to Tiffy. They fought for a long time. Tiffy to Jade, Jade to Rhea now. So we'll see where they go.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of touched on it in the preview, but I kind of need like Charlotte and Alexa to break up now so that they can both go singles.
Charlotte's the main event
If
and
it makes
I
you
don't
Alexa's the
feel
want.
better,
mid
so
card.
does Ric Flair. Ric Flair just like cried on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah,
He's like,
I
"Oh,
saw that.
if Ashley is not in the title picture, dot dot dot." Like,
Yeah. I don't want Rhea and Charlotte again. I mean, I do, but like not like right away. But yeah. Yeah, I don't. Also, speaking of Ric Flair, we were kind of talking about it before we started, but did you see him saying that he wasn't invited to WrestleMania because he threatened to beat up Kaiser?
no, what the hell?
Crazy.
What happened?
Yeah, he said he did get invited to WrestleMania this year because last year he threatened to beat up Kaiser.
For cheating on Charlotte or whatever happened with that?
I don't know, but well, no, it's because Kaiser was dating Tiffy.
Yeah, and then she said something about Charlotte's divorces, and then he said something on
Yeah,
social media.
yeah,
No, but Kaiser's the reason that Charlotte and Andrade had their problems as well. That whole DM thing was a real thing.
yeah.
That's
I
why
don't
it
know.
was so personal. Yeah.
We need. I think we need Total Divas back.
Yeah, for real.
Let's get the show
With this
back.
age of women in the
Yeah.
we need it back.
But it,
Jade would probably do better at that than the wrestling aspect.
yeah. Yeah. Anything else
Mm-hmm.
about the Jade and Rhea?
Mm-mm.
Cool. All right. Next up, we have Stephanie and Liv. I picked Stephanie because of a Judgment Day interference, and then you both picked Liv. Obviously, y'all were both right. Um. Anyways, but I really wanted Judgment. I really wanted at least one of Roxanne and Raquel to turn on Liv, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, they helped
This
her.
is probably like I think the match that got hurt the most by not having enough time. And like some reports came out afterwards that one or both of them were kind of hurt and needed like the shorter match.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that, but they were cooking in the short amount of time that they had. I'm sure we all knew that they would.
Yeah.
It was a good match, and I'm not mad about Liv winning. But what do y'all think?
I mean, I really don't have much to add on top of what you said. I mean, these are two of the best female performers that we have in the business right now. Like, if we give them more time, obviously they're gonna cook. They're gonna have a great match, but they put on still a really solid match in the time that they did have. Obviously, we know that Liv's face was still all messed up and stuff from banging heads with Roxanne. Stephanie's been battling injuries like this entire title reign, it feels like, which was
Yeah.
extra shocking then to see her come right back out on Monday night, because I definitely thought Stephanie was going to be taking some time off after
Yeah.
that match. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to be upset either way with whoever won this match. Just seemed like it seemed like WWE made Liv be the obvious choice there towards the end. Can we stop
Get
hearing her damn
rid
song?
of that damn song, bro. The entrance
There you go.
sucks. It's so you're not Shawn Michaels. You're not the big. Please get rid of that song, man. And then watching her twerk with Adam Graves after the show, my God, dude. Like, just
Trouble.
I
No.
can't with her. I can't. Y'all know I love. I'm gonna Liv Morgan. She's Stan. She was born in New Jersey, like literally 11 minutes from where I was born at Einstein Hospital like literally she was born 11 minutes from where I was born. Always been in Liv Morgan, and since she
Why
was
do
at
you
that
know that?
Hooters, and freaking what's his name found her, Enzo Amore, like he used to preach that she was the greatest and stuff like that. So I was following ever since he was saying about. So, but Stephanie losing sucks. I wish it wasn't those two fighting each other because it just like
Yeah.
it sucks whoever lost that match. But remember, it was supposed to have the belt until WrestleMania in the first place, but she got hurt. So Steph had to step in and get the belt anyway. That wasn't supposed to happen. That was impromptu. So Liv getting it back was always going to happen. I knew that. I'm curious to see what happens with Steph now, though. Like, how good is she going to be without the belt? Like, what's going to be her thing without the belt? Like, is she going to win the women's Money in the Bank or something? Like, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen here
Yeah.
with Steph and if she actually is hurt. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. Happy for Liv to win, but I really can't wait till Roxy and Raquel turn on her. It's gonna happen. We all know what's gonna happen, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
How about
Anything
Roxy's
else?
spot in WrestleMania? By the way, all you saw on social media was her little skirt. The pictures of her little
Yeah.
skirt. I told you, Roxy, Stephanie, and Liv in the ring at the same time. Men will buy ESPN to watch that. I'm telling you.
And then so like one thing I wanted to add on, it's not part of this match, but on Monday, we got the debut of Sol Ruka and fighting Liv, and I'm so excited for Sol on the main roster, especially if it's gonna eventually lead to Sol versus Liv. Because I mean the match that we had on Monday was great, and I can't. Yeah, it was good. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what Soul does, but I also do kind of think that Soul needed to be on SmackDown. I don't know who else from NXT is going to get called up to SmackDown because, like I said, I don't watch NXT, so I don't know
Jada
who the
Parker.
women are.
Jada Parker is
Yeah.
gonna fight Jade eventually. Trust.
But I think any women that got called up from NXT need to be on SmackDown. Like it's just kind of
Well, she damn sure
SmackDown.
didn't have to lose to Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
They mentioned this before. Like, this is what was going through everyone's mind. This was a Paige moment. I thought she was going to take the belt for like a split second. I thought maybe this is going to be a Paige moment. They showed Paige right before the match in
Yeah.
the crowd. The crowd went crazy, whatever. I thought this
Yeah.
was going to be a Paige moment. She was going to take the belt from Liv, which would have been fine. And everyone wins still. But, I didn't want her to lose I think bringing someone up immediately to lose is like, especially someone with that kind of pop and that kind of, I just thought it was a bad move to make. There should have been interference or something. I didn't like it.
Her
yeah,
since we're past
yeah.
it already too, when we're on the topic of Sol Ruka, her last woman standing match with Zarya on NXT was
Dude,
insane. Like, what a match.
I saw
What a
that.
match.
I saw when she went through that table. Like it looked like her head. Like
Didn't
what?
go through
Are
the
we? Is
second
she
table
okay?
because it was solid wood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's
Like is
one of
she?
those matches every week on NXT, by the way. For those that aren't
yeah.
watching NXT,
NXT cooks.
if you're one of those people that love wrestling, NXT gives you everything, man. And the crowd
Yeah.
is if you're one of those people that love seeing the crowd go crazy no matter what, even if someone's tying their shoelaces, you gotta watch NXT, man. It's
Yeah.
just nonstop action.
Yeah, I saw that video of her like going through the table and her head just like at least it looked like her head just bounced off that second table.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like are we sure she's alive still? Because damn, yeah. But yeah, so very excited to see what she does going forward on the main roster. Anything else about Steph and Liv? All right, before we move on to the main events, we had a couple segments before the two main events. One, Bianca came back, announced that she's pregnant.
So she's gone for another 2
Yeah,
years. See you later.
Yeah, so we won't be seeing her back in the ring for quite a while, but obviously a very happy moment for her and Montez, who is not fat anymore. But yeah. And then the other segment before the main events was Danhausen, and arguably my favorite part of the whole WrestleMania was
Seriously.
this Danhausen segment. It was hilarious, and Cena looked like he was having so much fun.
Yeah.
Um, and
Did you
especially
see?
like
Hold on.
when
Did you see what one of the midgets said after?
no,
So the midget, they like to be called midgets, by the way. They told Cole to call them midgets, so that's what they want to be called. One of the
he
midgets
said, "I have the pass."
One of the midgets said after the match that Miz being like taken and put it like them like putting it back like a concert thing. That
Hmm.
was Miz's idea. Miz went to
Yeah.
them before the show started and said, "Hey, I want this to be a special moment for Danhausen because they're obviously really good friends." And they weren't gonna have any moment. It was supposed to be just a regular thing. They were just gonna like come out and Danhausen was gonna walk to the ring and they were gonna go back. But Miz constructed the whole thing himself to make sure
Yep.
Danhausen had this moment and them little midgets had their moment. And he gave it to them and it was great. And then what's his name wasn't even supposed to be in it. Kit Wilson, like you maybe I think maybe he was gonna come out to the ring and kick one of them or I don't know, but he just made it such a better moment. Shout out to the Miz for completely changing who he used to be 15 years ago, not even being able to be in the locker room because he spilled something on Undertaker. Anyway, it's a long story. Regardless, he's a new
Yeah,
person now. And he literally is when he comes out and says, "I'm now the leader in the locker room," blah blah. He's not lying. Miz literally is the
Right.
guy that everyone comes to now. So I never thought in my life that was gonna be Miz, but it is
Yeah.
actually him. So props to him for doing that and giving Danhausen. By the way, Danhausen's the GOAT. Blimphausen,
yeah.
all the Hausen, everything Hausen.
Yeah.
He's just exactly what WWE needs. The E in entertainment
Yeah.
Hmm.
stands for Danhausen.
Yeah, I just loved everything about this segment. Like Cena like broke like whenever Danhausen ran and slid under the ring, Cena couldn't keep it together. And then I don't know if y'all saw the video of Danhausen and the midgets running after Cena on the golf cart, but it's one of my favorite things that I've ever seen.
And Danhausen's just behind the thing like this, just so that no one's like Brian John Cena on the cart with his wife. Yeah.
But yeah, I love Danhausen. I had no idea who he was when he debuted, but I love
We
Danhausen. Like,
told you the guy is
Yep.
funny.
I
He's
love him.
entertaining.
All right. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Talk about Randy Cody first. We all chose Randy, so we were all wrong. I don't really know what I want to say about this match yet. What do y'all have? Let's start with you, David.
Like, I mean, the biggest confusion thing that I think for everybody is like we dragged Pat into this to get all the way here for him to be the reason that Randy loses by eating an RKO. Like, yes, Pat eating an RKO was great. And then he's just the reason Randy loses, though, because then Randy immediately takes a crossroads in 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even think I wanted Randy to win for all the reasons that Glenn is going to list. I just think it made more sense. I think it just like we don't need to see Cody as champion over and over and over and over again because now like who does he face? What happens going forward? Like him walking out on Raw on Monday, like they couldn't even sell the punt correctly in my opinion. Like yeah, his face looks all messed up, but like if you're gonna pull him from all his events, why is he on Raw the next night? Like it doesn't, or 2 nights later, I guess they were the Saturday night main event, but still, um,
No.
it just like I probably look at it, but like I am kind of at a loss for words when I'm thinking about this match because like it was okay wrestling wise, it was like in the ring, it was an okay match, but obviously with Pat leading up to it, we weren't excited. Within the match, it wasn't exciting. Yeah,
Glenn.
Oh, I'm pissed. I'm pissed beyond goddamn belief. If you're trying to make Cody Rhodes Super Cena, where I couldn't stand the mother effer because he kept winning and he had no business winning, congratulations, you win. Because I'm starting to hate them. I already hated him. Now I hate him 10 times more. Randy Orton better be hurt. Nick said that he read somewhere that Randy was hurt and he got
Yeah.
hurt during this match and they had to change it up. That better be the damn case. Because if this was the script all along for Cody to win this goddamn match because he's trying to be the new Super Cena and he wants everyone to hate him or whatever the hell the case may be, bullshit. Randy had
Yeah.
to. He doesn't have many matches, and like I said, this is what Nick David was talking about. My reasons. Randy has to be the guy to pass Cena. Cena said it multiple times. If anyone's gonna do it, I need it to be Randy. It can't be Triple H anymore. Ric Flair ain't coming back, so it has to be Randy. For him to lose this match makes no goddamn sense. I don't even care about the Pat McAfee garbage. I literally, in my brain, he wasn't even there. I didn't give two shits about Pat McAfee being there. This is all about Randy versus Cody. And it was an okay match. Like, Cody's always going to put on a good wrestling match. That's the one thing I will give him. No matter who he fights, he even made Cena look like a good wrestler. Cody's going to do that. I give him that. But there's no reason for him to win this match. None. Zero. The only thing is they're pushing this heel narrative without him being a heel. Guess who that was? John Cena. Like they're literally making Cody the new Cena. I get it from that aspect, I guess. But Randy just I hope he's hurt. Well, that sounds so bad. I don't hope he's hurt, but I hope the reason the match ended the way it ended was because Randy's hurt. Because it's the only thing on earth that makes sense.
Yeah. You know, I read today or yesterday that Randy was originally supposed to win, and then like those reports were coming out like before, like the day of WrestleMania, that he was hurt and that he had like re-injured his back somehow. And so I mean, like I do agree with you. Like I'm a big Cody fan, as we all know, but I do think like Randy should have won if he was healthy. And like I will say, for as much as everybody talked shit about all the Pat stuff going into the night, they handled it perfectly.
Yeah. Got
When
rid
it
of him
actually
quick
came
and
time
then
to
made
it.
him, but then they made him come back and
Whenever,
cost Randy the match anyways. So
yeah, whenever Jelly Roll popped up, I was like, oh no.
yeah,
But then like he just takes
It was
Pat
a
out
good
and they're both
spot.
gone for a
It was a
it
while.
good
was a good
spot with
spot.
Jelly
Like,
Roll and
yeah,
it was a
yeah.
good
So
spot.
like having Pat not just be make sure that Pat's not just outside the ring just the whole time, just like
Yeah.
doing whatever he was gonna do. Like I think was the best move, and I did laugh whenever he came running down in the neck brace. But yeah, you know, the ending of this match was so weird, right? Because Randy's supposed to be the heel, Cody's supposed to be the face, and they were both doing heel and face things. Like it was an odd, like, you know, obviously if we watch wrestling enough, you know how these things typically go, right? And this is just not how it typically goes. I mean, Cody like low blowing and all that, like it was odd. And if they're gonna turn Cody, they just need to do it. Like they've been like teasing it without teasing it for a long time now. And
And what
the
does
only
that sound
way,
like? What does that sound
yeah,
like?
Yeah.
you're
John
right.
Cena. I'm telling you,
It does
bro.
sound like
He's
Cena.
Cena 2.0, identical.
It does sound like Cena. So I'm not gonna be all mad that Cody won because I love Cody, but I do think Randy should have won, given if he was healthy. We all talked about it, but it was a good match. Like the actual wrestling of it was good. It just wasn't. I think like the build up to it like was so bad that no matter how good the match, like they could have put on a Punk and Roman, you know, type match, and it would have been, we would all have been like, eh. Just because of how it was built, you know? But yeah, I don't know. And then if Randy is hurt and they knew that going into it, to have him punt Cody after the match like
Right.
doesn't really make sense, you know? Because
Yeah.
obviously that means they're gonna want it to continue. So I don't know. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens on SmackDown. Anything else to say about Punk or Randy and Cody? All right, let's move on to the match of the weekend and potentially one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. Let's just start with you, David.
Yeah, I mean, what a match. Like this match alone might have saved WrestleMania. Definitely match of the year so far, in my opinion. Um, Nick said it could be, I definitely don't think it is the greatest, but it's definitely in conversation for one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. In a match where we definitely didn't think the wrestling was going to be as good as it was. I mean, what a phenomenal match. Like it was a 30-minute true main event, like old school feel, two big names, two gladiators just going at it with their best. And I mean, even right up till the end, like the story was laid out perfectly. Punk just not having the strength to continue anymore, fought right up until the very end and everything like that. I think everything was done so well. Like the match itself was a million times better than any of the build up to this match.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we were before this match. We all talked about like what interference is going to happen. You know, who's gonna come out. And the best decision WWE has made in the last like 5 years was to have this just be a straight one-on-one, no interference match
Yeah.
with these two. Like it was just, I don't know. It was perfect, right? I would have loved Punk to win, but I can't be mad at the result after like that match. You know, like it was just so good. About you, Glenn? What do you think?
Man, we've been talking about memorable matches. We're not going to remember any of these matches in 10 years. WrestleMania is all about giving you that moment that you're always going to remember. Well, damn it, if the last match didn't save the whole effing show and give us a match that we're going to talk about forever. Because I hate to even give Punk credit for anything, but damn, that was fantastic. That was a 10 out of 10 match, and
Yeah.
I haven't said that since I don't even know when the last time I said that was, man. Just
Yeah.
what a great match. What a, like, storytelling. We've been talking about storytelling for forever now, and that told a story. Let's start. I know we're trying to go to sleep, and let's go from the beginning. The entrances, the whole Roman Reigns going back to the OG Bloodline song, which he should have kept, by the way. Fantastic, marked out, loved it. You had that. That's when Roman was at the peak top, and coming out to that song, I was like, he's not losing. And then CM Punk coming out, giving credit to the people that work behind the scenes, to the people that have died. And he told a story himself about how, hey, you guys actually haven't seen this, but I'm going through some shit. I've lost my best friend, my dog. I've lost people that I've loved nonstop since I've been here. Like I got fired from AEW for bullshit that wasn't my fault. I I came all the way back. Hell froze over. I came back to the WWE, and the only thing I've done since I've been here is loss after loss after loss. But in my own personal life, and now I'm losing the belt. It's building.
Mhm.
So he told a wonderful story, and I think he put all that into that match, and that's why it was so special. That's why it was so great. And he also came out to his ROH song when he was at the top of the wrestling game. Man, just everything about that was. We're gonna remember it. It was fantastic. I don't normally romanticize wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wrestling. It's a show. It's scripted. Whatever. But that was worth it all. That was great. I was worth all the 5 out of 10 matches just to get that moment.
Yeah.
And even though I think the rest of WrestleMania kind of sucked, this was saved it. This 100% saved it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
great
sure.
job by WWE, TKO, whoever the hell, and these two guys, just warriors of the crazy, just crazy.
Yeah. You know, this match was so good. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of both of their careers, people pointed this match as the best match of both of their careers. You
Oh,
know?
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Right. Like, it's just hard. Like, it's hard. You can't say more. It was just so good. It was just great. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Like, and like I said, you know, I'm big Punk guy. I can't even be mad that Roman won, you know? And then, you know, moving to Raw, you know, Punk comes out, says that he's not leaving. He's not taking time off. You know, he's still going to be here. I think we all assumed that if he lost, he was going to be taking some time off, especially with AJ saying that she was going to take time off. But
Definitely.
no, he's going to stay around and apparently might be going after Cody sometime. I don't know.
He might be the
That
one
was a
switching
weird.
to SmackDown and replace the Jacob.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
how much therapy do they pay for between AJ and Punk? That's
I
that's
know.
gotta be a crazy, crazy therapy between them.
Yeah. What do you think we're going next with Roman? I mean, obviously we're going with like to Jacob next, but after that, like, are we just gonna run the bloodline back again?
I think he's running the bloodline gauntlet, but backwards. Like I think he's got the Usos by his side, and I think he's gonna have that, have that game. But I think he's gonna battle Jacob while we have maybe some Solo and Tama, drama, and then maybe Solo comes over and or whatever happens, he's going after Solo goes after him, and then Tala goes after him if they want to do something like that, even just as like a one-off on Raw or something. It feels like at least for the beginning portion of the year or beginning portion of time here after WrestleMania, they're gonna go for like a bloodline theme kind of thing just to get them back to hopefully where they were a couple of years ago when the bloodline was running the entire show.
Yeah. I'm, obviously whenever the Bloodline was, it was the hottest story in wrestling, and it like kind of, really saved the WWE, leading in the, WrestleMania 39 and 40. But I'm not really sure I want to see it all again. Towards the end of the Bloodline story, it got stale. People don't want to admit it, but it did get stale, and I just don't really. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really interest me to see it again. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how it actually plays out.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
say two or three little quick things about where I think it's going, and then we could. Number one, I do disagree with you. I don't think that Bloodline thing ever got stale for me. And again, that's biased because I am the biggest like Samoan freaking. They could do no wrong for me, man. None of them, not a single one of them. Even Jey Uso, I defended him a little bit, even though I think it kind of got a little bit annoying. But nonetheless, like love that family. Did not get bored. The Sami Zayn thing brought the life back into it. Even when you started to get a little bit out, Sami Zayn came back and brought that so much up. And then like I think people were just ready for something new, but not because it was stale. It was just like, okay, if he loses now, I'm good because he's just had it for so long. What I think is gonna happen, and again, this is Glenn Road Dogg writer, that's gonna get fired for saying dumb stuff. I think what happens is next week Jacob comes on and he says, I thought about it. I'm not gonna challenge family. Then I think Solo comes. I think they're all going to be in the ring at the same time. It's going to be Roman. It's going to be Solo. It's going to be Jacob. It's going to be the Usos. And I think they all beat the hell out of Roman Reigns. Every single one of them. They just beat the living hell out of Roman Reigns. This is a way to give Roman time off. He says, I'm going to be there every show. It's impossible. He can't be there every show. This is a way to get him some time off because he got beat the hell up by his family, and everyone's going to be doing their own individual thing after this. And then Roman's going to be away for just a little while. We're going to get Cody versus CM Punk sooner than you think to make up for Roman being gone and not fighting with the belt, especially at No Mercy or Backlash. I mean, well, I know what I'm saying, No Mercy. But like that's my feeling. I think that even if Solo doesn't come, I feel like Fatu's going to pretend that he doesn't want to fight him, and then he's going to look at the Usos and say, we're family or whatever. And then they're all three of them are going to go like this and just beat the hell out of them. That's what I feel. I feel like we can't run the bloodline back. It can't happen. Every single one of them are too big now. They all can do their own individual thing. Putting them all together makes no sense. But it's also going to be the way that Roman finally proves that he can do it without the bloodline. So once he comes back from getting his ass beat in a 2 week, 3 weeks, whatever, he's going to show, hey, I can have individual matches that are fantastic like I did with Punk, and I don't need the family. So that's kind of where I'm going with it because I don't know where else they can go. I don't think they're going to run the bloodline back. So this is the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of out on the running the bloodline back right now, but I very much so can get drawn back into it very easily.
Zilla can come out of nowhere too. Zilla Fatu.
Yeah.
There's a lot that could happen. But the thing is, we're into it. We're interested to see what's going to happen, and that's what wrestling's about. We're finally back into it after WrestleMania, even though it was a shitty WrestleMania, in my opinion. There's some stories that we're drawn into now, which is what it's supposed to. Everyone always says WrestleMania is supposed to be where you finish stories. True-ish, but
But
we
it's also
also
where you're
like when
supposed to
new
start
stories are
new
built
stories.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Any topics before we wrap it up?
If you want to talk about me going to sleep in about 5 minutes when we're done here, because let's be real with the people that have probably not listened this long anyways. If you have, shout out you. It's late and I'm tired.
Shout out. It is late. Just before we get out, like our records for the show, me and David both went 10-3, and then Glenn barely finished above 500 at 7-6.
Better than
So we'll be keeping track of that. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment if you agree with us, what you liked about it, what you hated about it. Tell us we're stupid, share it with your friends. We appreciate everything. We'll see y'all next time.